I don't really know how to start this video. This series is supposed to be a happy vlog about my husband and I building our forever home. And I don't know how that's gonna go now with the news I just heard. I had initially planned on making this video where I would kind of every week make a new video and post it, but life has kind of got away from me since having a baby, and so I'm just gonna catch you up and then tell you why this could potentially be the absolute shortest video vlog series in the world, like seriously 2 episodes, or it could continue. So with that, stick with me, here we go. Back in November, December, we were driving around a bunch because we had a newborn who would not sleep. She was hitting about that 3-month-old, and everything was just hitting a fever pitch where we could not get her to sleep in her crib. So during the day for naps, to make sure that she got some sleep, even though we didn't, we would drive around the neighborhoods and go out while she slept in the car. So it started where we would go to, Target, or we would go through a Starbucks drive-through and get ourselves some coffee while she was asleep. And then we kind of got sick of that. We got sick of coffee and all of the stuff. And so we just started driving around local neighborhoods. And what do you do when you drive around local neighborhoods? You say, wow, look at those houses. I love that house. That one's so pretty. We could never afford that house, etc. And then after a couple days of that, it became, well, maybe we could afford that house. We actually haven't looked in a while, so I don't know what we could afford or what we couldn't afford. Maybe we should look into that and just get a, what are they called? Pre-qual. That's what it's called. So we went online and we got pre-qualified to see how much house we could afford. And it was not too shabby, not gonna lie. So we were like, holy crap, we had no idea that we could potentially move out of our house because it's really closing in on us with the baby and all of her stuff. Who knew babies took up so much room? So we contacted a realtor friend of mine and started getting to work. She showed us a few houses. All of them were cute, they were new, they were in a really nice neighborhood that we absolutely love. But the problem was all of the houses were just a little too small, or the rooms didn't quite fit what we needed. But there was one that got 90% of the way there. Now this house, Jay fell in love with instantly. He's like, I want this house, I want it now. And I said, I love it, but it's barely bigger than our house. And so I have a feeling that we're gonna move into it because it's pretty, and we are going to find that we grow out of this one just as fast, but it's a lot more expensive than the house that we have now. So instead, I told our realtor, hey, do you think that the builders of this house, do you think they'd have another lot that they would be willing to work out a custom plan? So 90% of the one that they already have, but then add on an office for a studio space and a little bit more storage and maybe a 3rd garage bay. So the builders say, yes, we're interested in working with you on a custom plan or customizing one of our plans. So we went in, told them all the things that we wanted, and the next meeting they came back with a drafted layout of exactly what we had asked for. This was a really cool part because we got to see basically the dream in our head come to fruition, pen to paper, and it looked so official, because it was, but it looked really official. It was really cool. I actually kept all of the plans because they let me, and I think I'm gonna have them framed. Well, I don't know. We'll see how this process finishes up. So that was like the really fun part, is we got to pick out the stonework, we got to pick out the color of the siding, the even down to the color of the roof. So it was really neat to get to piece all of those parts together. And then since I'm extra picky, they had to send me to a showroom that had more options for the tile for our backsplash and the tile for our master bath shower. That part was really fun as well. Like I said, it's just cool to get to go in and be like, I want this and this and this and this, which you don't typically get to do in a house. You have to go, I want this. It's gonna be a lot of work to get that ready to go. So just to do it all up front was really, really neat. I asked for a cast iron bath. They said absolutely, which is fantastic. Who doesn't want a cast iron tub that's never been used by anyone? Are you kidding? They had initially given us a contract that said this is how much it's gonna be plus what we think that your upgrades are gonna cost based on what you told us. But then they gave us a separate little sheet that said hey, you got to sign off on this. You have expensive taste. So they added $4,400 to that price because of that, which put it very close to the top of our budget. Now, these are all of the things that we want. So we still came in about $4,000 under budget, which we were super excited about. We got all of those options signed off on, builders signed off on it, ordered all of the stuff, it's ready to go. And then it was just time to start building. I am on my way to pick up my daughter at my parents' house. They live over by where Jay and I are building. And so I'm gonna see if there is any progress. I hope so. The last time we were there, the property was staked. That was about 4 weeks ago. So I'm hoping that they have at least dug a hole. That may be ambitious. I don't know. I've never built a house before. But I feel like that's step 2, right? Step 1, stake. Step 2, dig a hole. So we're gonna see. We're about 5 months out from when we should be moving in. And I've heard that typically home builds can take about 8 months, but they assured me that we would be able to move in September, barring any big delays like, whoa. Ding, 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 ding. Hurry, hurry, turn the corner. Hurry, hurry, turn the corner. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, she's asleep. She has been in the car for maybe 3 minutes, passed out. She doesn't nap very well over at Grandma and Grandpa's house, or maybe they just don't put her down for naps. So her schedule gets a little wonky, and she's about 2 hours past when she normally naps. So we got her in the car, and it was like, she's fussy. I'm like, oh, she's tired, and then, boop. Okay, we are officially coming up on the lot. Fingers crossed. Let's see if they have done any work to it. It's been about 3 weeks since they staked it, so I imagine some work has been done. I see promising signs. Oh my gosh, they're there right now, digging the hole. Oh, this is amazing. I didn't think they would work on a Saturday. What? Oh my gosh. Dirt has never looked so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's not just dirt. They have like the foundation blocks laid. Okay, we're gonna get out. I'm gonna get out and get a little closer. So this is what it looks like today. These guys are looking at me like, don't come any closer, which is fine. I won't get in their way, but holy cow, I was not expecting that much progress. Like I said, a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was staked, so they knew where to put everything, but I did not imagine that they would have this much work done. That's amazing. Did you think it was gonna be bad news? It can't all be bad news, right? So I was pretty happy. I was very happy with the progress that I saw. I had expected just a hole, and so I reported back with the good news, and then the next day I brought Jay back with me to the lot so that he could see it and kind of feel it out. No one's working, so I wanted to get a closer look at it and see what the foundation looks like. It's Jay's first time seeing the foundation. What do you think?
I think it looks good. It's hard to picture still a little bit, but seeing the progress is nice compared to showing up when there's nothing done.
And just trying to imagine it.
Yeah, getting a little bit of something is kind of cool.
Something that I've been concerned about since we got here that is now much easier to see is how much we're going to have a backyard. So let's go over here and try and see that now that we have the foundation. I just want to show you guys how big the backyard is. I'm actually I'm really happy with the size of the backyard. I'm going to show you, just for reference sake, how long it is. So you stand right there, because that is where our porch is going to be. And hold this, boop, and face it that way.
Face it which way?
This way.
Oh.
Are you getting it?
Yeah. it's pretty big.
And then it all went wrong. I don't even want to say that, but here is the pickle that we have found ourselves in now. We got an email from the builder's agent the next day, and it said something to the tune of this. Good morning, Trish and Jay. We have a little bit of a clerical error on your last upgrade sheet. We had said that you only owed us $4,400 with all of the upgrades, but that wasn't calculated correctly. You actually owe us $12,100 for those upgrades that you chose. So very expensive taste. Let us know if you want to pay these, or maybe we could take away some of the upgrades that you had asked for. Just let us know which direction you want to go. I felt like a little deflated balloon. It just totally took the wind out of our sails because we only had $4,000 worth of wiggle room in the budget. We are now $8,000 over what our original quote was, and about $4,000 over where we said we wanted to be. My younger self would have said it's $4,000 over the course of 30 years. If you can go to this number, you can go to that tiny little number more. It's not really that big of a deal. But my gut is telling me we made this decision for a reason. We set this budget for a reason and this cap for a reason. And we could take out some of the upgrades. That's absolutely feasible. But on principle, we signed off saying that we could get it for $4,400. And so it just stinks on like an error that we signed off on, the builders signed off on, both of us signed and dated it. Now that they come back and say, actually, just kidding. It's a hard pill to swallow. And on principle, I'm like, no, I want the house that we both agreed that we would get from this whole interaction. It's just so tough. Because it's our dream, right? It's our dream house. And not only is it just a dream, it's a plan, it's an action, it's right in front of our face. Like we can go visit the house that used to be ours if we back out of this. And that will be devastating and heartbreaking. And every time we drive past it, because it's going to get built now, regardless of whether or not we're living in it, it'll be so crushing to know every corner of that house is one that we laid out brick by brick with very specific intentions, and someone else is living in it. And that sucks. Sucks! But, you know, c'est la vie, right? So we're gonna discuss this and see if that $4,000 is worth it to us to eat that cost. And I say $4,000, but let's be honest, it went up $8,000. It's just $4,000 over what we decided was our max budget. So we're gonna have that conversation, and then we are going to respond to the builder. I have been trying really hard to not push back against the universe, right? Older and wiser Trisha has learned the lesson a couple of times that if you try to push back against the powers that be, they always win. And they may not show you that they're winning initially, they always win. So if you are getting signs or a gut feeling that says, I don't like this, and I don't like how this is feeling, trust it. Don't push back against it, because that is what gets you in the mud. And I don't want to be in the mud. I've been in the mud before, and it's not fun. It's not like a mud run. It's like muddy. But it's also really hard, like I said, to see it be built and not be like, it's fine. I'm sure $4,000 will appear. I'm sure $8,000 will appear. It's fine. It'll be okay. Just do it. So we got to brush that little devil off our shoulder and just go with what the universe is telling us. So I'm going to talk to Jay about it, and then we're going to respond to this email, and then it'll be in God's hands. And now you're all caught up. So that is vlog 1. I don't know if there will be a third. Stay tuned for vlog 2, which very well could be the last vlog.